Well, live-action Spiderverse is one more step to becoming a reality. Sam Raimi, of Tobey Maguire-era Spider-Man fame, is in talks to take over directorship of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Let's talk about it. Before we do, though, I want to thank you, whether it's your first time here or you're back for more, for watching JL's Comics. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss the content we upload just like this each and every week. Let's jump right back into the video. On January 9th, 2020, Variety reported to the world that Scott Derrickson would be stepping down from Doctor Strange 2 due to the nebulous creative differences term. It seems like it was partly due to the level of horror he wanted to include, plus the demand to tie WandaVision in. But the film itself, we were promised, was still on its development track, and truthfully, Derrickson does remain on board the project as an EP and an executive producer, and so they're not projecting to have any delays from its announced release date, which is May 7th, 2021. Just about a month later, February 5th, 2020, a couple days ago as of this recording, came news that Sam Raimi is quote-unquote in talks to take over for Derrickson. Yes, the horror comedy director himself. This is really exciting news for Spidey fans. Sam Raimi, as you may know, is famous for the Evil Dead franchise, including one of the most quotable movies of all time, which is Army of Darkness. But relevant to our conversation, he directed 2002's Spider-Man, the sequel in 2004, and the third Tobey outing in May 4th, 2007. Now, there was a fourth Spider-Man film projected, but there's a lot happening behind the scenes that I outlined in my Spiderverse video, linked to which is right here, that explains how we wound up with Andrew Garfield. And this was just about 1 year prior to the kickoff of the MCU franchise, which was officially May 2nd, 2008. Since then, fans have long desired for the Marvel Universe, housed under disparate film studios, to come together. The Netflix shows reference the Battle of New York, as did shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which were not under Kevin Feige, as they are now, but at the time were under Jeff Loeb and Marvel TV. Then Sony's newest Spider-Man, Tom Holland, thwipped his way into Captain America Civil War in an unprecedented deal between Sony and Marvel Studios heads Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal. It was a step towards a realization of a couple things. One is that the 900 plus Spider-Man characters housed under Sony will ultimately wind up back with Marvel. I've said it before, I'm saying it here again, my friends. Precedence for this was set when Marvel purchased Fox for $71.3 billion. Sony has, with fluctuating financials, been looking for deals, whether it was the recent attempt to sell off its Vue, V-U-E, or its entire entertainment division. And that continues as Sony just reported their 2019 Q3, its third quarter profits, which came in with a 50% decline over 2018's Q3. As you can see, precedents, motive, and means have all been set. This was also another step towards realizing a live-action Spider-Verse, bringing in Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield. In 2013, a movie was released, which is now considered the nadir of the MCU, and that is Thor: The Dark World. But it's very important to this story because Dr. Eric Selvig in that movie mentioned alternate realities. He even wrote 616 Universe on a chalkboard behind him. And in case you don't know, 616 is the numerical designation for the Prime Marvel Universe. But why create that distinction if there aren't other realities? In 2016, Tilda Swinton's The Ancient One was talking with Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, in the first Doctor Strange film, and she asked him, "Who are you in this vast multiverse, Mr. Strange?" At the end of 2018 came the massive financial and critical success that was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which leaned heavily into the multiverse concept with unapologetic abandon. And see my recent videos for more details on that, and there's again the link here. Then, in July of 2019, the world was treated to Spider-Man Far From Home, which used the multiverse as a plot point. And while it was ultimately a lie, we have to ask ourselves, why were the heroes so willing to believe Quentin Beck's lies about the multiverse? Because it's real. Also, and this part is vital to the entire concept, J.K. Simmons reprised his role as J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man Far From Home. J.K. Simmons was JJJ in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films, as you know, And in those films, it was actually J. Jonah Jameson who was the one who referenced Dr. Stephen Strange by name, specifically when trying to come up with a name for Spider-Man. And yes, it was an Easter egg because this was prior to the concept of the cinematic universe came to fruition. But it does show the knowledge and the interest that Sam Raimi has with Doctor Strange. And in fact, he has actually gone on record to say that he's super interested in the character. Now, Raimi is coming on to direct a multiverse movie for Marvel, and we have a potential Spider-Verse property looming just over the horizon. And let's not forget Sony's Morbius trailer, which showed that Raimi Spider-Man suit from the PS4 game on graffiti art. Perhaps a hint of things to come. With Raimi on board, could the viewing of the multiverse in Doctor Strange 2 give us a glimpse of this future? Will the reality-punching America's Chavez help him? Is what we will see in those glimpses of all those realities in the multiverse the first step towards a battle world for Secret Wars? And in Spider-Man Far From Home, it was J. Jonah Jameson and Mysterio who revealed Spider-Man's true identity to the world, that is of Peter Parker. And the rumor is that Kraven the Hunter is going to be the one to hunt him down. That solo film of Kraven's has evolved into him being one of the villains for the next Spider-Man outing. But when that happens, when he's shot, will it be Doctor Strange, Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange, who helps him out? The answer as it stands now, my friends, is an astounding yes. This all lines up with my thoughts, those of the mysterious Scooper Black Knight, famous Scooper Mikey Sutton, other Scooper friend of mine, TiVo from Lords of the Long Box. All very exciting, and I, for one, am looking forward to it immensely. I just hope that Feige and Camp are able to give Raimi and really all the directors enough creative control to realize their visions. Raimi had this exact problem with Spider-Man 3, and specifically with Avi Arad, no longer there. I understand Feige has to steer the ship in certain directions, but if Derrickson leaving is indication that creative freedom is being sacrificed for the sake of this, then it should be revisited. However, if Into the Spider-Verse is any indication of how Spider people can all interact with each other on screen and have it work extremely well, then I can confidently say that the future of Spider-Man, the MCU, and Marvel Studios is as bright as the redness on Spider-Man's costume. One last question for you. Will Bruce Campbell be back too? Let me know in the comments what you think. That's it for this one, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends, and check out our playlists. I'm Jesse, this is JLS Comics, and I'll see you soon.